Alright, welcome back everyone. You're watching the Rhythmix RSL 3. This is Group E, which contains Thorzin, WhiteRa and CatZ. In our first match of the day, Thorzin did take down WhiteRa with 3-2. In the second series, WhiteRa is up 1-0 against CatZ. The second map is going to be GSL Whirlwind. And two players advance out of those groups. We saw some Protoss domination before. We're going to take a look at the groups briefly. I did cast this group, Oz, Braddock and Bly. The votes are up on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/ToddStarcraft. So if you want to check those out, do definitely. Oz played really well, Braddock as well. Bly did not do as well as them, but still played some decent games. And there was actually Braddock against Bly on Ohana was a great game, so I recommend to you to check this out definitely. In another group that I didn't cast, Lowly made it out as first, Straylock was second, and Mana lost to both of them. Kinda sad, but I guess we have a Protoss first in both of the other groups, with Baby Knights winning Group G over Happy and Dimaga. And yeah, today, Thorzin, WhiteRa and CatZ. Thorzin starting the group off really well, beating WhiteRa. Right now we're having WhiteRa against CatZ, and our last match is going to be Thorzin against CatZ. So GSL Whirlwind, WhiteRa starting in the bottom left hand corner as the blue Protoss. He went for the night pylon, scouting with his probe just right after. And CatZ is actually going to go for drone scout here. This could mean anything. Usually scouting this early for CatZ does not mean a hatch block as it will for other Zergs, just because CatZ is not a regular guy. He likes to play his own style. He has his own ideas, and one of those ideas is an in-base proxy hatch. So I think if he sees some kind of very greedy build by WhiteRa, or if he sees a spot where he can punish WhiteRa for something, he's just gonna go for it. And actually, CatZ, he really likes to go hatch first, and then if the Protoss cannons him, the proxy hatchery in the main, he does too much damage to the Protoss, just because CatZ cancels this one hatchery, and then since the Protoss has spent so much money cannoning this base, he doesn't have enough to defend at home against the proxy hatchery that he will go for. So now this is a lot of theory crafting. This was all for nothing, because this is not happening in this game, but I'm just explaining you why CatZ scouted this early. And okay, I really like this. Basically, WhiteRa spotted that CatZ went for the hatch first, and you don't need a forge very early on, especially if you go Nexus first, just because there are not going to be any links in your base anytime soon. So he goes for the gateway first. And actually, I think WhiteRa, he spotted that there was no spawning pool being made, so he realized there is probably a third hatch that was made before the spawning pool. And this is so typical of CatZ as well. And if WhiteRa had gone for a forge after his gate, he might have been able to cannon this base with like a nice well-placed pylon here and 3 cannons. Even if CatZ would have put a lot of drones, the distance would have been too great for him to be able to be on time. And WhiteRa is actually going to go for the very quick third Nexus. I love this. This is very ballsy, and I think CatZ might not spot it. And CatZ, I don't think he wants to go for a proxy hatch here, just because, okay, actually, every time I'm going to say something, they're just going to do the opposite. I mean, his drone was like in the middle of this position. It was looking like he was trying to place it to have enough room to make something, but CatZ knows that there's going to be probes flying by here and spotting this hatch pretty much all the time. So this is a bit useless. I mean, this is mostly only good if you can hide it. Like if you had made it here, okay. You can make a couple links here and harass the mineral line, make a queen, maybe get some creep spread going in the main. But now this is not going to do much really. WhiteRa is just going to chrono boost out Zealots and get rid of this hatchery very easily. CatZ in the meantime droning up, adding his queens. He's actually supply block here for a bit. He has 1 Overlord in the making. Actually this hatch is going to finish, but even if CatZ was to make a queen here, I'm not even sure that the hatch will be alive long enough, so he might just cancel. And even if he was to make a queen, Protosses now, we know that a queen takes 50 seconds. So say this hatch finishes at 6:18, 6:19. you just have to know that 50 seconds later a queen is going to come out. So you time it, and then 45 seconds after the hatch finished, you send like 7 probes here, and you're just basically ready to snipe this queen before it can make a creep tumor. And even if it makes a creep tumor, you can just snipe that as well. So this proxy hatch not as good as it used to be. And WhiteRa actually warding off his ramp here, but with a cybernetics core and a second gate, he's warding his third bit here with 1 forge. I wouldn't be surprised if he had his gates here in a line and makes a cannon behind. And WhiteRa is going to push out right now. It's just a couple units. He might chrono boost a couple stalkers here and just try to do some damage. Try to force units out of CatZ instead of letting him drone up. And CatZ right now, he has only drones. So he might lose a couple units here. WhiteRa has 2 stalkers and 2 zealots here on the way. He might get his overlord and this queen and a couple of those drones. CatZ might have to pull back those drones. CatZ is starting speed right now, but it's going to take a lot of time before he can get it. And 12 links are on the way here. CatZ trying to micro right now, pulling back one of those queens. He's not going to have a transfuse on time. And WhiteRa doing great work here. He should definitely go for this one queen that has almost enough energy for a transfuse. I guess both of them do. But yeah, he chooses to go for anything he can really. And CatZ is actually going to repel this quite nicely here. 4 drones were killed. And okay, CatZ did spot this base. He got a 1 probe, that's okay. And 10 more links in the making. Speed being researched right now. WhiteRa warding off really nicely his 3rd base here. +1 is on the way. Robo just finished. So WhiteRa microing beautifully so far in this game. Infestation pit being made for CatZ, and look at this, I really like it. He's making burrow immediately as soon as he can. This is one of the very good things you can do as a Zerg. Get burrow and you can start burrowing links everywhere on expansions. I guess in this game it's not going to be as good as it usually will be, just because WhiteRa already has a 3rd. So CatZ has a choice to make. He can either be very aggressive or very passive. And in this game, it looks like he wants to be more aggressive than passive, but he does not want to commit. He's researching pneumatized carapace. I'm not sure why that is, but we might see a big push with a lot of infestors, but so far he's still making drones. I guess his saturation wasn't optimal just yet. He needs 16 on his 3rd base at least. And I would really like to see a better creep spread out of CatZ in this game. He's added a couple more queens, at least 1. Very early on here, and WhiteRa is the very nice wall here everywhere. I guess this force is quite vulnerable, but if CatZ was to move up there, he could get a lot of those units force fielded and trapped by WhiteRa. A Twilight Council being made now. First Immortal is out on the field already, and we're gonna have a classic copyright standard WhiteRa War Prism added into this game. And WhiteRa is actually gonna go for the 2nd forge as well as the Twilight Council. So WhiteRa I really like his macro and his decision making so far in this game. I was actually thinking he might drop the sentries, which would have been pretty bad, but instead he picks up 4 zealots, and I think he's just going to look to drop inside of those mineral lines and start warping some zealots to kill some workers. What is this queen doing? I was actually looking for it. Like, there is a hatch here, and the queen was like way far off. Infestors out on the field now. We have 8 infestors, 35 zerglings, 71 drones to the 82 probes of WhiteRa. Oh my god, this guy just built up the most ridiculous economy in the fastest time. Blink being researched, +2 attack. WhiteRa is 1-1 right now. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the +2 armor start being researched sometime soon here. And WhiteRa dropping 4 zealots in the mineral line of the natural of CatZ here. And in the meantime, he's going to warp a lot of units up the ramp, and he's going to force field. He's going to get the force field. CatZ, he has to react very quickly here. He has to send an overload. He cannot spot up the ramp, so he cannot send some eggs up there. Oh, he uses burrow. I forgot about burrow. So he does get up there. He's going to spam a lot of infested Terran eggs here. But this infestation pit might die before. He's losing all of those drones. He did not move them back. CatZ lost a lot of drones here. 15 drones in total were killed. Now the infestation pit died as well. And we have 72 drones to the 83 probes of WhiteRa. WhiteRa right now realizing there is no energy left on those infestors. He's warping more units up the ramp. He's ready to force field again. And look at all those zealots. Where is the units of CatZ? He has nothing. CatZ with 31 army supply to the 85 of WhiteRa right now. WhiteRa is going to take this second game. In this group E of the RSL Rhythmics. Wow, GG well played, says CatZ.